There are some technological advances, changes that may change the type of aircraft that are in the air in the future, the fuel that they use. I've been reading about sustainable aviation fuel. Gulfstream and Bombardier say they're going to reduce emissions by 80%. They're electric prototypes now. I know that when we had the first electric cars and they started being adopted, the thought was, oh my gosh, and the gas cars will be out of business. Well, it looks like that's going to be a very long time to play out. How do you view the new technologies in aviation?
Very jaded. It's going to sound bad. I'm not naive in the sense that technology will incorporate itself in our industry, and I have to be thinking ahead, just like the drone market. Why can't we do maintenance on drones? We've thought about that. But with like electric aircraft, things like that, barrier to entry we talked about was the FAA. So getting these things certified, and I love that the bar is really high and it's super hard to certify these things because they're flying up in the air. There's no room for error, right? Mm-hmm. It's cold up there, there's pressures, there's so many technological complexities to fly that I'm glad it takes a long time. But people, 10 years ago said we'd be flying electric aircraft by 2025. Sure. I think it's still a 10, 15 year horizon, let alone to scale, like commercially, like you and me being able to jump in an aircraft. I think some prototypes, experimental aircraft will come out in the electric space, but we're not strategic enough or gearing up to, fix anything besides jets that we think will be flying longer. So older jets flying longer is what we're betting on, because the manufacturer's not catching up. There's no new aircraft models coming to take their jobs in terms of the aircraft. I think the certification is just too long, as it should be, and they're not going to be throwing aircraft up in air at scale. And so when people are like, oh, look, someone just put an order in for 100 of these electric aircraft, I laugh at it because I'm like, when are they going to be out there at that scale where you could actually sell capacity? I might be retired by then, if alive. Like it's going to take that long to actually build something to scale. And it's not me saying that technology won't enter our market. It's just me understanding that the regulatory certification requirements to get to that kind of scale, it just takes a long time, as it should. And so it's not going to be a quick, innovative thing from an outsider or someone with a lot of investment to say we can produce it. You've seen that with electric drones and the quadcopters that can take people in it. It's all taking a lot longer than we thought. It's going to be a long ways. They'll get there. And so there's going to be a time where, as a business, if we want to be strategic, we got to be ready for maintenance on those types of platforms. But it's not on our line of sight right now. One, because we're young, but two, my skepticism is that it's still way too far out, especially for a young business to think about 15, 20 years from now.
Well, anecdotally to that point is like you look at the Cybertruck. You're talking about something that was announced and it seeming, I don't know what the years was, but it felt like 5 years before it was on the roads. Somebody can fact check me. It's probably like a year and a half or something, but it felt like a forever. But you're talking about a product that has a ton of people that could buy it versus aircraft, which is a very, very small niche of people, plus all the regulations you were referring to.
The regulatory, I love that the bar is high, but the FAA should scrutinize any new technologies, not to a fault, because you want to see innovation actually thrive, and you want to see people motivated to bring new ideas to the industry. But again, like a new aircraft model or changing fundamental engineering principles to put something in the air, you got to make sure it's ready. So it is hard. You're flying up there in negative temperatures with pressures. And again, with the Cybertruck, at least there's a check engine light. Worst case, you pull the side of the road and you say, oops, this car is not reliable.
Stalls out.
Reliability issues in the air, that's a different animal, right?